Okay, Smackdown. Let's put this in perspective. You see the title. I already wrote the title out for myself, so when I upload this video, it will be with it. But let me tell you, was this worth it? No. I know I'm going to be in the minority because there's going to be people that's going to think, oh, it's because you're not happy about Cody. It's not about Cody to me. I'm telling you right now, if anyone's seen my channel, it has not been about Cody finishing the story. I have stated that it's good they would maintain the story that they have and not trash it. But it's not about the story for me personally. What it's been about for me all this time was simple, and this was only one thing. What would give TKO WWE this? I've stated it, and I'm still sticking with it. This is not about what makes the fans happy. This is not about what makes The Rock happy. This is about what Ari believes is going to make the shareholders and him happy. Because when you look at this entire booking, right now for SmackDown itself, not good. You get some interesting stuff here, but when you think about this, and think about this, guys, think carefully, because I know just Alex is fine with this. He's going to be happy. More power to him. JD, I think, is going to be somewhere in between to maybe leaning a little more towards me, because he's not feeling it right now. Right now, unlike JD, who's, I believe, a little more emotional than I am, the way I'm seeing it is what Ari wants. He thinks is what The Rock wants. It's not about The Rock. And he's a part of it. But this is about what Ari wants, because we still have not seen what the booking's going to be for Crown Jewel, because that's what's coming up. That's what they're focusing on more than WrestleMania. That's right. Think about this for a minute. What have we seen so far? Why is Sami Zayn going into WrestleMania? It's not because he's more popular here. It's because he's more popular in Saudi Arabia, because he's one of them. And there's nothing wrong with him being originally born Middle Eastern. But what I'm saying here is that this was not about pleasing the fans. This is not about pleasing The Rock. This is about pleasing who is at the top, who's getting this. Let's go to Rey versus Santos Escobar. Something that should be set up for WrestleMania if you're going to do something with Santos. It's not. This is about trying to get the most out of this. And the only person that this makes the most sense would be Dom versus Rey. Because that's what I knew was going to happen. But I thought it was going to be Dom versus Rey for the US title until Rey got hurt. And that was the main issue there. Rey got hurt in November, so he was not able to continue. And because of it, the setup for WrestleMania for between Rey and Dom was lost for the US title, and it was put to Logan Paul. So that's why he has it. But now, after you saw at the end of the show, or end of that match, and you saw that it was Dom who messed up Rey, you can see that Dom and Rey are going to have a match. Kind of like Jimmy and Jay, that's going to have a WrestleMania match. I do believe Dom and Rey, well, Jimmy and Jay, Dom and Rey is going to have a match. I do believe it might happen. You're going to have a brother versus brother, and there's a possibility you're going to have a father versus son, unless there's no room, and this will be done on, not night 1. I do believe it'll be done at night 2. If there's not enough room on night 1, at least you got Saturday and Sunday, so one of them is going to be that. That's what I believe is going to happen. There you go. Second match. A qualifying match for the ladder match going into WrestleMania. And that is Grayson Waller and Austin Fury versus the Good Brothers. Now, I was thinking there's no way the Good Brothers is going to win because they're already in a tag division in NXT right now. So this is just for them to have bodies. In NXT, they're getting a shot to try and go after Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin's titles. So I don't expect them to go anywhere with this. I don't. I just don't. So look what happened. Due to the fact they squeaked out a victory, you got Grayson Waller and you got Austin Fury winning. I am not surprised. because I knew that the Good Brothers weren't going to win. They were just bodies. Now, here's a match that I was not happy about. And let me give it to you like this. What is Naomi doing? My girl. What is she doing? She is an in-between. She is the one who's dealing between Bianca and Bayley. That's what we got right now. That's the only thing she's doing. She's an in-between between Bianca and Bayley. Now, I did hear what JD talked about, that it's a good possibility that when it comes to the tag titles, you might have Naomi and Bayley winning if Bayley does not win the title. I do believe he said that. And I could see that. But I don't know. Because I would think they want to try and put Bianca with Naomi and make her win that way. Not because Pam is just because she's Spanish and black. You would think they want to try and do something where they may, and this is may, have Bianca turn heel because she's working with Naomi, tagging with her. They win the titles. Pam is by their side, and Bianca can't stand it, and she costs them the titles, and then eventually she turns heel. That's what I think might happen. But it's hard to say. At this moment, we got Naomi really not doing anything except being an in-between between the two, one who can't stand the other one, and one who's trying to make up for what's going on when it comes to that. And after Bianca came out, once Naomi lost the match due to the fact of outside interference from the Damage Control, there was no Pam. Pam did not come out. So I know they're going to bring that up in the next show before WrestleMania. It's going to happen. They're going to bring this up. It's going to happen. Question is how they're going to book that. Next, Street Profits versus the Authors of Pain. The last match of the show. And this was for the other slot, going to see who's going to be in the ladder match. I did not see AOP winning. I didn't. I just didn't. I didn't see them winning. I didn't think they would, because we got Austin Fury and we got Grayson Waller. It's got to be the Street Profits, because you should think the Authors of Pain should win. But they haven't really done anything with the Authors of Pain. And this is something that people are not going to understand. If they're not doing anything with the regular shows when it's not a special like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, or Survivor Series, or Royal Rumble, you would think they would be booking them so you could see them progress going through the regular smaller pay-per-views or premium live events. So we did not get that. So I didn't expect them to win. They destroyed the Street Profits, but they did squeak out a victory. That I'm not surprised about. I am not surprised. But I will tell you this. Was it good to see Paul out there? Yes. Was it good to see Scarlett out there? I mean, she's a gorgeous woman. Who wouldn't want to see her? Yes. But was it good to see Karrion Kross? No. I don't want to see him there anymore because he doesn't feel important anymore. It's like when it comes to Karrion Kross, I'm saying this right now. They have thrown him into the main title position. Well, not main title. They have thrown him into a prominent position where he's worked with AJ Styles. He's worked with Rey Mysterio. He's worked with anybody else they thought he should work with. But they didn't make it important. And you know why? He didn't win. And that's the major issue when it comes to Karrion Kross. When it came to the clinch, he's not won. What did he do with AJ? Did he win against AJ? No. He didn't gain anything for AJ because they didn't do anything with him. Then, when it came to Rey, same thing. It didn't help him. And then, worse yet, he starts Final Judgment. I believe that's the team's name. And instead of letting Final Judgment build themselves up as a faction without being interfered with, what did they do? They stick him with the Street Profits and Bobby. I believe they're called Prime now. I can't remember the name of them. Whatever the name is of their faction. The Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. I haven't paid any attention. Because They had to win by themselves and build themselves up. But they didn't get the option. They put them against Final Judgment, where they needed to be on their own and they needed to build themselves up until the time was right to actually have them butt heads. But in the very beginning, they're butting heads. Why would I care? Why would I give a fuck about either side? Because both of them needed to win and neither one of them did. They just threw them together because they didn't have any idea what to do with them. Because what? They don't have people in the back they couldn't let squash? That couldn't be squashed by either side? You know how many people they still got in the back that are sitting and catering that they couldn't just throw bodies at either side of these factions and just let them win? No. So seeing AOP, I didn't care because they really haven't gained anything. Street Profits, I didn't care because they haven't gained anything. I want to see Bianca working with her husband, not B-Fab. But they decided to do it like that. Don't care. Now, did I feel interested in AJ about to do some workouts before he goes to WrestleMania and LA Knight attacks him when he's in his home? Yes. I will say I'm interested in their feud going in WrestleMania. I am interested. And they are booking it pretty well, making it important for LA Knight. And him being thrown into a squad car, being taken away. Yeah. That's LA. That is our boy. That is Eli Drake. He ain't gonna stand around for nobody. He's gonna take nothing from nobody. He's gonna do whatever he's gonna do. That's how he is. Now, I want to say this. Jade Cargill being signed to SmackDown is the wisest thing to do. I don't know why this thing keeps getting overexposed or underexposed. You know, this camera right here, I've had it for almost 2 years, and I've done, I don't think, less than 600 videos already, maybe more, maybe 7. No, it's almost 4 years, 3 or 4 years now. I've had almost 3.5 years almost. And this thing's done almost over 600, maybe 800 videos already. I've lost track. And now, it's giving me trouble. Maybe it's just I've overworked it. But anyway, seeing Jade on SmackDown is the wisest thing to do. She's signed to SmackDown. We will see her next week. I do not know if she's going to have a position on WrestleMania. She probably won't. But at least she will be ready after WrestleMania to do whatever she's going to do there. The vid pack looked good. Braun Breaker's big vid pack looked also pretty good. No problem. Now, if I'm forgetting anything, my bad. Final segment. Roman. Paulie. Cody. It was 9:34 when Roman came out. From the time they both did their intros, walked to the ring, had a mic in the hand, and started talking. It was a 26-minute segment. All of it going into when you see the Uso, both of them, Seth Rollins, and Solo Sikoa. Understand, I know I'm leaving a huge amount out. You're better off watching it, but I'm only giving the gist of what this really means, guys. This is not about the content there. The content was okayish. Look, Roman did what he did. Seth and Cody did what he did. And the fans the fans did what? A Roman Reigns. And they didn't do that to Cody. You know that. They were talking about family. They were talking about, can Seth be trusted? Is it... And we still got no reason why Cody Rhodes gave up originally a spot to The Rock. Still no words on it. Just trying to say, can you trust The Rock? And then, can you trust Cody? And talking about family. And talking about being the one when Roman said he's number 2. And Cody believes he's the one. And then we get the Bloodline coming out. Then we get Seth coming out. Then we get Jay coming out. And then they end it. Was this worth it? No. Was it effectively done, though? Yes. I want to make it clear. I'm still seeing it objectively. Did it get the point across of how important this is by both perspectives of one telling one, Roman telling Cody he's stupid for trusting Seth, and Cody telling Roman, one, can you trust The Rock, which didn't get anywhere. Two, you got to be ended because I'm the one, I'm not number two. Guys, I'm telling the truth here. I'm being honest here. Do I believe WrestleMania Night 1 and 2 are going to be good when it comes to wrestling? Yes. Let's make this clear. Normally they do great wrestling. There's no problem with that. This is story. Look at what we're dealing with. Have you heard anything from Drew McIntyre? No. Nothing. Nothing from Drew. Have you heard anything from Seth lately talking about Drew McIntyre? No. Nothing from Seth talking about Drew. It's been about Cody working with Roman and The Rock. Have you heard a lot about Gunther's opponent? No. He just got an opponent named Sami Zayn that, even though has been built pretty well, wasn't what the fans wanted. That was Chad Gable, who himself, who had a very good story last year, who has not been winning lately, but people still wanted him to go up against Gunther and win, but he lost to a Sami Zayn, which many people believe is not the wisest thing. What do we get when it comes to a Randy Orton? When it comes to a KO? Yeah, they knock out when it comes to Grayson Waller and to a Austin Fury, and they're setting up to go into their match. But did we get matches separately from them? Setting themselves up to feel like individuals before their match against Logan Paul? No. We're going to have a tag match. And then we get nothing. And now it feels somewhat like it's lacking. Does not mean the match is bad. And doesn't mean that Logan Paul has not done his job. He has. It's not because of, and I want to make this clear over everything, Steph's not at fault here. Drew McIntyre's not at fault. Gunther is not at fault. Sami Zayn is not at fault. And Chad Gable, Randy Orton, KO, Logan Paul, Roman, and this is so hard to be saying this because I still care for WWE. I still want to see it succeed. But when you see the situation here, do I believe this is going to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time? No. No. This WrestleMania will not be the best. We'll be lucky if we get an average show. And I'm not talking about the wrestling. You guys need to understand. This is not about the wrestling. This is about the story. The story set has been going on, for 6 months? That's going to be culminated into what's going to happen in next 2 weeks. They got this week, they got next week, and the week after that. They just finished this week. So tell me, do you feel incredibly hyped for this WrestleMania? Not talking about the matches. Remember, the matches are going to be fine. We know the wrestlers can wrestle. We know that they'll be very, generally speaking, it'll be good. But let me ask you, do you feel hyped because of the stories? No. Me and JD are in agreement here. I don't know about Just Alex. I believe Just Alex, as I've said it already multiple times, Just Alex is looking at this through tinted glasses. He's not looking at the big picture here. The booking for the majority of the people suck. Naomi's booking is not good. Seth Rollins' booking with Drew McIntyre is not good. Gunther's booking, when it could have been about Chad Gable, and they could have built up Chad Gable properly, which a lot of people believe is much more better than Sami Zayn. But Sami is not doing it because he's a bigger star than Chad. It's because they're going into the Middle East soon. And they'd rather see either him lose to Gunther at WrestleMania or win to Gunther at WrestleMania. So when he goes over to, I think they're going to Saudi Arabia and Jeddah. I think they're going back to Jeddah again. I can't be sure. You guys can tell me below. I don't remember what city they're going to in the Middle East. But that's why they did that. All of this is not about booking for the fans. or making sure the wrestlers have looked good. This is about this. When it came to The Rock making his decision to join TKO Book Holdings, they gave him $30 million to join, and he wanted a match with his cousin. He didn't care what had to be changed. All that mattered was that. And Ari, not thinking, oh, we're going to please The Rock. No, he's thinking The Rock is one of the biggest stars they've ever produced. He's still a very prominent star in Hollywood. He's got his hands in many things. He's got to be put in here because we know we're going to get this. And then it backfired in their faces when the fans refused to just accept The Rock over Cody, dealing with Roman Reigns. And ever since then, the booking has been sloppy. No matter how much you love The Rock, and this is what you need to understand, it's not about loving The Rock. I still care about The Rock, but I'm seeing him more than just a wrestler. He is a businessman who was and still is an actor and used to be a wrestler that's going to do a good spot here at WrestleMania and get an extra payout along with his $30 million that he's got, because they're going to pay him extra for getting in the damn ring. This was not about trying to make this for the fans. This is about trying to make this over everything. If the fans got to be pissed off, but they'll make big money, they're going to make it. This WrestleMania has no real stories other than one. And I know people say, well, what about Becky and Rhea Ripley? Yeah, it's there, but it's not that strong. It should be stronger. They should have more that's going into WrestleMania night 1 and 2 than what they got. They got very weak storylines. You know why? Because the focus has been The Rock, Roman, Seth. That's it. So right now, is my enthusiasm here? This is super hype like a Just Alex would be. It's here. Doesn't mean I'm not interested, but it's here because there's nothing to work with. The storylines with Seth and Drew have been put to the wayside. I should be hearing more about Drew working with Seth Rollins right now than that damn match that's going to happen. I should be hearing that too. Haven't heard much about it. I should be caring more about Gunther. But the person that makes the best sense would be Chad Gable, not because I love Chad Gable, but because of how well they booked it and keep referring to his daughter getting upset, compared to Sami Zayn, who just feels like he's unfocused, but he believes he deserves to be at WrestleMania. Which one is better to you? Tell me. See the Street Profits. What do I care about the Street Profits? They should have been able to, I believe, the Pride, I think that's the name of the group. The Pride should have been much more prominent. Final Judgment should be more prominent. What did they do? They stuck them together when they should have been building themselves up. Nothing. Santos Escobar should be more prominent with Rey, but no. They've done almost nothing with Santos. And when they should have built it properly with Carlito, they did not. They've been putting things on hold until Rey came back, and the only thing that mattered to them about Rey is dealing with Dominic. Now, Dominic and Rey makes perfect sense if you still had the U.S. title, but they couldn't do it because Rey got hurt. So now, it looks like at the last minute, we're going to get a match between Rey and Dominic when it should be about Santos Escobar maybe dealing with Rey. I'm just saying, the booking has not been good. The stories are not there. The wrestling will be fine. But with no really strong stories, tell me, is this going to be anything better than what Dynamite was giving us? Or Collision? Or, let's make it clear, we're going to get something that could be considered Dynamite or Collision based. Because they're going to be doing not heavy stories, but heavy wrestling. I believe that this is going to be a average or maybe above average WrestleMania. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but this is what I believe. Peace.